Hello everyone, this is Katie Miller. I am creating this program using Screencast-O-Matic. If you're not familiar with Screencast-O-Matic, I would highly recommend checking it out. My third artifact video was actually about this program, so if you have a chance you can check that out, or you can just Google Screencast-O-Matic, that would work too. Today, however, I want to take a moment to talk about Google Drive. It's something most of us, if not all of us, know quite a bit about already, but it is very important and there are some kind of unique ways that you can do it that I want to highlight today. So, let me pull it up. Most people have a Google Drive account set up already. If you are teaching though, or if you're moving into student teaching, I highly recommend that you set up an account using your school email. I actually have 3 or 4 Google Drive accounts, one set up for each school that I've been at, and then a personal account as well. Oh, this is my personal account. Google Drive is a cloud for sharing and storing information. For those of you who aren't super familiar with it, I would categorize it as a collaboration, communication, and content delivery tool, although I think that you could also make the case that it can be used as a presentation tool and a research tool as well. It's one of those handy pieces of technology that can really fit wherever you need it to. I believe that Google Drive, specifically in this presentation I want to focus on Google Docs, fits into a teacher's toolbox very well because it's free, first and foremost. It's easy to use. It's relatively easy to organize once you have a system. It's used by many institutions, so it is a marketable skill. It's a skill that will be able to transfer. Dare I say it's a skill that you need to have in order to be successful in a lot of school systems, especially the public school systems from my experience. And it allows for the transfer of material between devices. This has become more and more important to me over the last few months. If you're in the block right now, you know we use iPads a lot. In the classroom, I still like to use my iPad, but there are some assignments that I just feel like I need to do on my laptop, and using Google Drive I can not only transfer between my iPad and my laptop, I can also send the material to my cooperating teacher when I'm done with it, to someone at the university when I'm done with it, or really I can use it in whatever way I want it. It's much more malleable when you're using the cloud. Google Drive can be used in the place of meetings to save time. On a number of occasions I've been a part of Google Drive meetings in the place of house meetings at my current school, in the place of department meetings at my last school. It's something that people are gravitating towards because, in my opinion, there just aren't enough hours in the day, and it's an easy way to still communicate material between a large group of people, but on their own time, at a time that fits best for them. And Google Drive can be used to enhance virtually any curriculum. Google Drive is useful for students because it allows learners to word process on any device, regardless of what other programs are installed. For many students these days, it seems like typing is actually faster than writing by hand, so this program can save them some time. Students can use it to take notes. They can enhance their notes, perhaps with screenshots from the text if they have an e-textbook, and then finally they could turn those notes into the teacher if the teacher grades them as a homework assignment by simply sharing the file with them. Google Docs gives the students in your classroom the ability to access documents from anywhere. We're all human, and I'm sure we all remember the days when we got home from school and realized that we were missing a textbook or a notebook or something important for studying. Nowadays, the movement is to have almost everything online. You can usually access textbooks online. You can usually access review materials from your teacher's websites. If you have your notebook, in a sense, on Google Drive, then you'll also be able to access that from home as well. So there will be no more forgetting work at school. Finally, Google Drive, or Google Docs, prepares learners for the 21st century world that they will be entering as professionals. There's really no way around it these days. Knowing how to use the cloud, knowing how to type well, learning how to communicate via technology is the push of the 21st century, and if learners are not able to effectively use this technology, they'll be at a disadvantage when they get into high school if they're in middle school, when they get into middle school if they're in elementary school, when they get into college if they're in high school, and finally when they're looking for a job. Google Docs can be used to help students demonstrate their learning. One really interesting way that I have found to use Google Docs as an assessment tool is to actually assign them assessments that they need to turn in using the cloud. At my current placement, earlier this week, I gave an assignment. It was an essay quiz where the learners had a prompt that was displayed on the smartboard, and then in a Google Doc they had to write out a paragraph response, and they'd had a couple days to come up with their answer. They'd been able to practice writing samples in class, and they'd actually received the exact question 2 days prior to the exam so that they could really be prepared. And so when the day came, they all got a Chromebook, they logged in, they titled their documents in the same way, first by class period starting with a 0, then by their last name, and then Chem Essay 2, because they had one before I got to this school earlier on in this unit. They then had to answer the question in normal 12-point font and submit it to myself and my cooperating teacher. Once it was shared to me, oh, I deleted them already, I broke them down into folders, which on my end made it a lot easier for me to see what had been turned in, and then the grading process as well. It made it easier for me to input these grades straight into the grade book. For grading, what I ended up doing was simply rating comments wherever I saw that there was something that I thought the student did really well or that they could have improved upon. So with this particular student, he did a really nice job with his intro. There were some wording problems, so I wrote comments about that. There were some places where he used the wrong word, and I wrote comments about that. And then at the end, I gave a score. Now this will also be inputted into the grade book once all of the assignments are completed. It takes a long time to grade essays, so I'm not quite done yet. But once I am, all of these will go into the grade book, and the students will receive notifications through Infinite Campus as well. But currently, if they are dying to see their grade, they can log into Google Drive, and the comments are available to them. We ask that they not respond to every comment, because with 140 students and anywhere between 4 and 10 comments on each essay, that would be a lot of notifications in my inbox. I think that the key to using Google Drive effectively for an assessment is keeping things very organized. It's important that the students are all entering the exact same title on their documents so that you know as the instructor not only which period each of the essays came from, or the assessments I should say came from, but also whose they were, and then a title, so that if things do get messed up, you know exactly which assignment it is that they're trying to give you an answer to or demonstrate understanding for. Setting up a Google Drive account is obviously the first step in using this cloud effectively. Like I said before, I think it's best if you set up your Google Drive account using a school email. Even after you've left a school, if you're student teaching, you will be able to pull up documents that are in that drive. And it also helps to keep things straight. Going from school to school and student teaching, it is sometimes hard to determine, okay, well, I've got this and I used it at this school, but maybe it's here. And it's nice to have the separation. It's also nice to have a separation between your school drive and your personal drive. Just keeps you from having too many folders. That is one risk that I have encountered with using Google Drive often in your curriculum. It's easy to all of a sudden, if you categorize things kind of like I have them, end up with 35 folders. And at that point it is hard to find things effectively when you're looking at your drive if you only need one thing. So one trick that I have learned, I delete things that I don't need probably once a month on average. That's why it looks like this right now, and it's also the beginning of a placement. And also I will consolidate whenever possible. So once I'm done grading all of my chemistry essays, I will lump them into a single folder called Chem Essay Number 2. I'll take all of my student teaching stuff that I've done so far for this placement and I'll put it into another folder, and that just makes it easier at a glance to find things. Again, use whatever system works best for you. That's just what works best for me. If you're looking to set up a Google Drive account, I would start by Googling Google Drive. It'll take you to a screen where you can choose to go to the drive. It will ask you which drive you would like to select, or it will take you to the one that you accessed last, depending on how new you are to the program, and you can go from there. It's also nice because people can share things that they've done with you, not only students but also faculty. So that is Google Drive in a nutshell. If you have any questions, you can leave them in the comments below. Thanks for watching.